Hi, good day everybody. A very warm welcome to this video presentation. I'm yours sincerely, Dr Constance Friday. I'm the poster boy of Real Life Gospel Church, or you can call me the lead pastor of Real Life Gospel Church, or the general overseer of Real Life Gospel Church. Okay, today I just want to make a quick presentation about the incidences in our schools and in our learning environments. All right, so the title of this message or this video presentation is bullying and child abuse, what parents and schools can do to prevent such obnoxious incidences. Okay, bullying and child abuse, what parents and schools can do to prevent actually such obnoxious incidents. Now, the truth is, the present publicly obvious incidents of bullying, child abuse, and so on and so forth, which we are seeing in the news. The story of Sylvester Oromoni, which is kind of blown out everywhere. I watch all over the internet. I watch all over the headlines everywhere. These things have been going on secretly without public notice for a while. We are shouting about Sylvester Oromoni's incident. What about the ones that have been going on secretly that didn't come to public notice? The Bible says that there are some things, what is done in secret will be rewarded in the open. There are some things that have taken place secretly that people did not hear about. So these things have been going on for a long time, understand? And that is why, you know, the morale to keep doing the wrong thing is there. And that is why tragedies like the Sylvester Oromoni tragedy has taken place. So these are steps that parents and schools can take to prevent such tragedies. Okay, if you are a parent, you have children in school, you know that this is a serious cause for concern. All right, it's a serious source of concern. During my last video on Facebook, I said that there is an important role that parents can play to protect their children, not just the mothers but also the fathers. You know, we the dads, the fathers, they tend to see their responsibility as just to provide money. All right, fine, as the dad, if I'm able to bring money, if I'm able to provide money for the child, for the children to do this or do that, that's all. No, that is not all you have to do. The role of a father is very, very much important in child upbringing. There is the psychological effect. All right, there is a psychological effect of the dad being present. Okay, there is psychological effect of the father being present at home. And there is also the psychological effect of the father being absent at home. So I want to encourage our fathers not to be absentee fathers. Okay, I know our job may not be like our role as parents may not be compared to that of the mother. The mother does the cleaning, the cooking, the cuddling, the hugging, the comforting, but we also have our role. So I just want to speak to my fathers out there. Spend some time with your children. Even if you have to take a whole day off work, I do that often. Sometimes I just suspend work for the whole day and I spend time with my children. And I don't regard a day off work that I spend with my children as a waste. Just take a day off, be with your children. There are parents who, when they notice that a child was beginning to behave strangely, they had to retire or they had to resign from certain kind of jobs that was taking so much. They had to retire or resign from those jobs that was taking so much time from them, so that they don't spend much time with their children. So always spend much time with their children. Now, the most effective protection of a child is from home. You understand? The most effective protection of your child is from the house. Do you understand? That is where protection starts from. When a child is not well protected at home, the child can go into the society and still fall a victim of other things. So parents, these are the things you should do. Both the father and the mother should collaborate and do this. They should teach their children how to protect their private parts. Yes, give them some basic sex education, because sometimes one of the reasons why they get molested sexually is because they are not aware of what that thing in between my leg is. What is it called? You understand? They don't even know what it's called, and they are, you don't even tell them. Okay, so you should teach them how to protect their private parts, how to speak up for themselves confidently, succinctly, and respectfully. All right, train them how to respect, to express themselves respectfully, but not to be easily intimidated. All right, not when someone says shut up, they easily keep quiet. You understand? Because that is what they do when that is the first step to bullying and child abuse. Telling the child to keep quiet and not say anything. What do you know? You are just a child. Keep quiet. Shut up. No, don't do that. Don't do that. When your child is talking, even when what your child is saying does not sound so sensible, allow them to talk. Allow them to express themselves. Then help them, reanalyze. When the child knows that he or she is allowed to, express himself succinctly, himself or herself succinctly, confidently, and respectfully, such a child grows up to become a confident man or a confident woman. All right. Number 2, teach your children their rights. Yes, children have their rights, the right to education, the right to play, and the rest of them. Teach them their rights. My dear son, my dear daughter, these are your rights. Anywhere you go in this world, these are your rights. Both here in this country and outside the country, these are your rights. Anyone tries to deprive you of these rights, let us know. We'll get a lawyer and we'll challenge them. So teach your children their rights so they can be aware of when someone is violating their rights. You understand? Right. Number 3, always watch your child closely and regularly so you can notice any sort of behavioral change. Whenever my children are playing outside, I always pay close attention. Even though I'm doing something indoors, I always pay close attention to the sounds, to what they are saying. When they are saying something that's something so aggressive and something unfriendly, I ask them. They will tell you, I do come out, leave what I'm doing. I can say, why are you saying such a thing? Stop it. It's not right. Okay, don't do that. Don't say that. Okay, and I'll ask you, correct yourself. Say this instead. Okay, don't say if I give you slap. Don't say if I give you blue. Stop that. Stop that. That's wrong. Okay. Okay, what kind of game are you playing? I don't like this game. This game is too aggressive for my liking. Why don't you play something like Time Factor? Time Factor is educative, right? Play Time Factor. Why don't you play Scrabble? Scrabble is educative. Why don't you play the Bible games I have here? You understand? That is better. Why are you playing this antagonistic and aggressive game? Why are you playing this demonic game? You understand? So always watch your child closely. Notice, by allowing your child to speak up succinctly, confidently, and respectfully, you are able to decode their basic characters. You are able to tell, okay, like now my 3 children, I know their temperaments. I know the temperament of my first daughter. I know the temperament of my son, my 2 sons. I know their temperaments already because I allow them to express themselves freely. So I've been able to decode that, oh, this one is a sanguine, this one is a melancholic, and this one is actually the workaholic type, the choleric. So I'm able to determine their temperament by allowing them to express themselves. So I now deal with them according to their temperament. I tell my child, I know this is your temperament. Don't let anyone push you over. This is your temperament. Don't be careless. This is your temperament. You try not to be too aggressive. You understand? So I teach them. So you watch them closely. So when you notice a behavioral change, like for example, if your child is a sanguine, okay, if your child is a sanguine, has a sanguine temperament, and suddenly the child is so quiet, is not lively, is not playing like before, as a parent, you can know that something has gone wrong. You understand? If your child is a melancholic, you notice that such a child is drawn to art, is drawn to painting, drawing, all this detailed work, science, and all these things. And when you notice that the child is no longer doing all those things, you know that something is wrong. So behavioral changes often indicate that an abuse of some sort is going on. When you notice a major change in the behavior of your child, it means that something something abusive is going on somewhere, you need to try to tell your child to let you know what's going on. For example, the case of the lady whose son was being abused in Akwa Ibom. She noticed that son's behavior had changed, and then she noticed that son was not sitting down properly, and so she had to address the issue seriously as a parent. So when you notice behavioral changes in your children, sometimes they may be intimidated, they may be told that if they talk, something will happen. No. Watch them closely, especially if you allow them to express themselves. You can know when there is a change in their behavior. You understand? All right. Now, out of the 7 things I have here, 5 of the responsibilities lie in the hands of the parents. The other 2 lie in the hands of the school authority. And any school that does not do these 2 things I talk about, make sure you don't waste time to withdraw your children from such schools. Okay. Now, number 4, before you enroll your child into any school, whether it's a private school or a public school, ensure you run a background check on that school. Find out what has been going on in the school. Don't just take your child there because the school uniform looks attractive. Don't just take your child there because rich people take their children there. Okay, I want my child to go to a rich school so they can wear the uniform and look rich. Check. Run a background check on that school. Find out who are the people in that school, who is the proprietor of the school. Find out everything about the school. Run a background check on that school. Before I put my children in the school they are now, I knew the background of the school. You understand? You don't just put your children anyhow into any school just because others are going there. A good school is not determined by how much you pay for school fees. It is determined by how conducive, child-friendly, and safe the school environment is. What did I say? A good school is not determined by how much you pay for school fees. It's determined by how conducive, child-friendly, and safe the school environment is. So, inspect your child's school environment. Inspect your child's classroom environment. Is the school environment child-friendly? Is the school environment is the classroom child-friendly? Is the school environment child-friendly? Inspect these things. Assess the personality profile of your children's class teachers, the school officials, the principal, the vice principal, headmaster, the hostel master. Assess their personalities. Even the gate man, the security men. Assess their personalities. Find out the personalities of who are around your children. If you notice anything off and it is not addressed, withdraw your child from the school, please. It is the most important thing as a parent. Okay, so do this proactively. These 5 steps are proactive steps that can protect your child from abuses, because the protection of a child, or 90% of child protection, 90 to 95% of child protection starts at home. All right, starts at home. The only way you can protect your child from monsters, everything starts at home. All right, steps that schools can take to address issues of bullying and child abuse. Number 1, school authorities should not only be interested in how much they are making out of each student. Right, because the rise and the spread of private schools. I've worked as a science teacher in many schools, okay, and I've worked both in private, public, and missionary schools, and I know that school authorities are usually much concerned about how much they are making per term. That should not be the only target. All right. Also, ensure that the school is a place where the child is safe, where the child is secure, and the child is protected from harm, and then on top of all is able to learn, grow, and develop. The most important thing is that the children came to your school and they were able to learn, grow, and develop because of your school. The most important target is that the child is able to grow, learn, and develop, and that the child, while growing, learning, and developing, the child was safe, and the child was secure, and the child was not abused. Okay. All right, number 2, school authorities should treat potential traits of bullying or abuse with utmost seriousness and discipline. Anything that looks like bullying, because one thing that makes bullying get worse is negligence, or people ignoring the bully. Maybe a child comes to report that something is going on, but the school authorities ignore the person. they just ignore the person, say, don't disturb us, Jerry, you're making noise. You ignore the person. Such type of ignoring is when you ignore a report of a potential case of abuse or bullying. You are giving the bully the go-ahead to continue. You understand? Bullies, when bullies are aware that you are frowning upon their activities, it keeps them from continuing. You understand? But when you ignore the person that is reporting to you, you are giving them the go-ahead. Okay, continue to abuse him. That's what you are saying. So school authorities should treat potential threats of bullying or abuse with utmost seriousness and discipline. Don't joke with it. Don't even let it grow beyond a certain length. Nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. What did I say? Nip it in the bud. If it's a staff that is involved and the staff abuse the right of a child, discipline that staff. Either you relieve that person of his or her